Hi there, a warm welcome to you. Thank you for becoming part of this wonderful live chat session. Can you hear me, viewers? Thank you for responding with yes. Let me welcome the participants. Then, only one topic in tonight's live chat. Very interesting topic, by the way. Uh, Let me welcome the participant. Then, I'll talk about the significance of this topic. It's not that it's an imaginary topic which is not grounded in reality. No, it's based on the assessments made by the government. That is why I picked this topic for tonight's live chat. By the way, viewers, now uh, topic selection for live chats is becoming very direct. I am not pulling any punches. I am giving my analysis in plain, direct terms. That is, I'm saying that now live chats are not for the faint-hearted. Uh, uh, just like you are free to express your views, I won't pull any punches as well. Someone is saying problem with your mic. Can you hear me? Is audio fine? Okay, mic is fine. Please, problem is on your side. Let me welcome the participants. Then we'll get going. Simon Tesfaye, always the first to comment. Welcome, Simon. Tibahle joined. Welcome, Tibahle. Marcus Gitaccio, Fitsum, Kidane Mariam, Sami S. University Abraha said how University Abraha is a member too, special member. Special welcome, University Abraha. Members have special badges. University Abraha has a yellow color badge allotted to him. Welcome, University Abraha. Marcus Getachew says Ramadan Mubarak. Fid says hope iftar was of great. Yeah, I break fast at home with my family, with my daughters, with my wife, with my father, mother. We have welcome name. Someone wrote welcome name in Tigrinya or Amharic. I cannot read screen name. Aman Washe third, a second viewer who is a member. Welcome Aman. Mikhail here. Fitsum says if DDR is imminent, Gitachow's agenda is winner. Uh, Ababe Molokan, well, DDR cannot be done in just a few days or weeks. It will take years the way it is being implemented. We have TT, Eratia first, Average Dome, Cielo, the baby frog scored powers. Interesting name. Jelcom Sahir 2, Mesfin Zanabe joined as well. TT, Hibo Press, thank you, Hibo Press. Solomon Walde, HP, Hyalom, Asadar, Kirobil, Ephraim, G. Mariam, Matthios, CCC, Liul bin Waka, Joseph Habte, Muni joined to welcome Muni. Chief of Hamasian joined here. Hirbo Muda, TT, University Abra says, answer some questions, Sajid, but not all. I lost his comment. So many comments coming. Let me read University Abraha's comment first. He says, answer some questions, Sajid, but not all, because people come here to ask you so many questions. Yeah, I try to respond to questions as many as I can. Sometimes people write more comments than questions. Dark Star joined as well. Just wait a moment. TT says, why don't you visit Ethiopia? You can use my house. I would love to visit Ethiopia one day, hopefully, once Muni invites me. Where is Sadkan? University of Bhai is asking. He's not in Addis for sure. I think we heard about Sadkan being in the US. Horner K says, please start, Sajid. I have waited for this live. Okay, okay. Uh, just give me a few seconds. Just give me a few seconds. I read all these names because that is how I remember. That is how I keep in touch with you people. And I want to be in contact with you. I want to know who you are, what your names are, what your comments are about. That is why I read your names, and I know what Kamsa would say, what Moni would say, what Dark Star would say. I know their inclination. So reading your names and comments helps me a lot. Let's start, viewers. Let's start. Uh, why did I choose this topic? Who is PM Abiy government's number one enemy? When I say number one enemy, I mean number one threat to their government. Obviously, it's not a personal animosity between Abiy or someone. No, no. Enemy number one means threat number one. Which threat is threat number one to Ethiopian government? According to the assessment of the Ethiopian government. Governments always make these assessments. Why? Because once they are clear about the gravity of the threats, in accordance with those assessments, they take action. For example, if threat is coming from the east, government would focus on east to counter the threat. If threat is from the west, government resources would be mobilized towards the west. Assessments matter a lot. And governments, intelligence agencies, think tanks, they do that. Obviously, Abiy has his own views too. He has his own team, his advisors, his kitchen cabinet. These people are clear about number one threat to their government. Let's start. Let's analyze one by one the threats to the government. Then at the end, just let me speak for around 10 minutes. I'll make myself clear and then I can take your questions, comments, everything. Let's start from Egypt. Egypt is not a direct threat to Ethiopian Abiy's government, though it tried to team up with Somalia, with Eritrea, but PM Abiy's government is not under imminent threat from Egypt. Kurd issue is a hot issue, but still we cannot say that Egypt is going to bombard Ethiopia tomorrow, coming weeks, days. No. So Egypt, Ethiopia calls its historical enemy. Ethiopian leaders say it openly. But Ethiopian government of PM Abiy is not under imminent threat from Egypt. Clear. Secondly, Ola. Ola Oromo Liberation Army has been operating for decades, not for years. Ola has been weakened. Government has managed to create splits in Ola. One group of commanders has signed peace deal with the government. This group of commanders, led by Sani Nagas, is trying to create inroads into the Oromo Liberation Army. Komsa group, disgruntled, definitely want to take revenge, but weakened. We cannot say that tomorrow, if Ola decides, it can be a big threat to Pimavi's government. Uh, it can team up with others, but on its own, Ola cannot be a major threat to the Ethiopian government alone. Third main threat which people talk about is Fano. Can we say Fano is the major threat to Ethiopian Zimbabwe's government? No. Fano on their own perhaps won't be able to capture Addis Ababa. They've been saying since mid 2023 that they'll capture Addis Ababa. They could not. They could not even enter Romania. They managed to get a foothold in Addis Ababa, but they were identified, they were killed there. And now they are fighting internal conflict as well. Military deployed, militias deployed. Fano is not in a position in coming days, weeks to reach Addis Ababa. Again, not number one threat. All these threats I'm mentioning are threats definitely to the Ethiopian government, but I am talking about number one threat. I'm not saying that Ola is not a threat to the government, Fano is not a threat to the government, or Egypt is it cannot do anything against Ethiopia. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that who is the number one threat? Which threat is the most serious one? So Fano maybe could get strong in future, but we're talking about current situation. So Fano is definitely not in a position to storm Addis Ababa. Fourth threat is from Eritrea. It is asked can Eritrea topple Zimbabwe's government? Well, firstly, Eritrea is not interested. Eritrea would like Zimbabwe gone, but it does not want direct intervention in Ethiopia. It would like Abiy to go through internal conflicts. And there are no signs that Eritrea is going to involve directly in Ethiopia to remove PM Abiy's government. No one knows about future, but current situation does not indicate any such signs. Yes, Ethiopia is building a narrative about Assab, about access to sea. Eritrea is defending. Eritrea is on the defensive here, not on the offensive. PM Abiy's government on the offensive. So we cannot say that Eritrea is number one threat to Ethiopia. Then, which threat is the main threat? Well, according to the analysis, the assessments conducted recently, I'm not talking about conducted last year or 2022. I am talking about 2025. According to PM Abiy's government, main threat to the government is still from Tigray, from TPLF. Government's strategy, PM Abiy's strategy to weaken TPLF, to divide TPLF has failed. PM Abiy's government adopted the strategy of division in Ola. It succeeded there. Ola split. Some commanders signed peace deal. Strategy to create divisions in Fano working as well. Fano groups fighting each other, though Divisions are not very deep, but still there are issues, lots of issues. Fano could not unite under one command. ONLF, you saw what happened there. A government backed ONLF was created, and real ONLF now has been sidelined. It is threatening to explore alternative ways to counter the Ethiopian government. The strategy of the Ethiopian government of Abiy was to create divisions in Tigray. Strategy not working. TPLF, TDF United, pro Abiy group has been cleared from Tigray. It is being cleared gradually from Tigray. That is why main threat to PM Abiy's government is from TPLF. Firstly, secondly, uh, Varada's appointment is a very bitter pill to swallow for PM Abiy's government. It's not that PM Abiy is happy and he's happy to appoint Varade as deputy, as the president of the region. That is why still notification has not been issued, though more than 24 hours have passed since the Bratzian met with Abiy and they agreed on Varade's appointment. But as I said earlier, it's a hard pill to swallow, bitter pill to swallow for PM Abiy's government. Maybe government has some other plans to do something, but all its planning about Tigray has failed. In fact, its plan backfired. TPLF and TDF are now united. They're on one page. They were not on one page a few over a year ago. There were issues. I know there were issues, but the strategy to divide TPLF did not work, and now they are united. If today, imagine today TPLF decides to remove PM Abiy. Someone is saying there is noise. I don't think there is noise. Can you hear me? It's on your side, please. Audio is fine. So imagine, imagine today TPLF decides to topple PM Abiy's government. It can easily find allies now. Fano will be more than happy to join TPLF. Eritrea will be more than happy to provide secret support to TPLF. All are waiting for TPLF. By TPLF, I mean Tigray forces as well. And imagine a major offensive from the north by Fano, Tigray fighters, and Eritreans, which would get support in Oromia as well in the form of Oromo Liberation Army. Imagine the gravity, the significance of this threat. If it happens, if somehow all these forces unite and ONLF also gives its backing to this alliance, imagine the problem, the challenge which the Prime Minister of Ethiopia's government will face. So yes, I agree with this assessment. I'm not saying that TPLF has decided to wage war to topple PM Abiy's government. I'm not saying that. I am not saying that TPLF, TDF are conspiring with Eritrea, conspiring with Fano and Ola to topple PM Abiy's government. No, I'm not saying that. We are talking about scenarios. scenarios which could unfold. Ethiopian federal government strategy about Tigray has failed. Tigray is in the process of rebuilding, reconstruction. It does not want a new war now. No. It does not want a new war now. People of Tigray are fed up with war. They don't want any war now. They're devastated. Their lives devastated. But we're talking about scenarios which could unfold in near future. So the efforts of the federal government to make TPLF irrelevant perhaps politically has succeeded. TPLF has no major role on national level in national Ethiopian politics. But in changed regional situation, in changed internal situation, TPLF could once again emerge as a key player. So, what is alarming about this assessment is that since the Ethiopian government has reached this conclusion that TPLF is still a major threat, it means that tensions will continue between Tigray and federal government. Federal government's first attack through Getachew has failed, and we cannot say that federal government won't go for second attack in some form. We don't know. I just a few minutes ago saw a tweet by an ambassador. His name is Salman Dadeho, I think. He now works in METEC, Ethiopian Metals and Engineering Corporation, I think, which is an Ethiopian state-owned entity. And he also reiterated what I'm saying. He said TPLF is still enemy number one for the Ethiopian government. Interesting to see, for me to see that he was backing what I was going to say. So Salman Dadeho is not alone. There are people in federal government who have reached this conclusion that main threat is from TPLF. And by the way, there are some who say that TPLF must be countered now, that action should be taken now. There are hawks on both sides. Hawks say that Abiy's government should take action on TPLF now, otherwise TPLF, TDF, if they manage to take control of Tigray fully, they'll once again march towards Addis Ababa. There are hawks telling Abiy to take this action. Abiy so far is not considering war on Tigray, but different strategies are being discussed about what should be the next plan of the federal government about Tigray. This is what I wanted to tell you. Based on the assessments of federal government of Ethiopia, TPLF is the main enemy, number one threat for the Ethiopian Abiy's government. Error Pearl of Red Sea says, some people say Saudi is the main threat to Ethiopian PM. Do you agree? Well, I don't think Sajid is relevant in Ethiopian politics. Sajid is just a student of Ethiopian politics. Sandro says, it's hard to picture Fano aligning with TPLF. Well, yeah, but there are many issues will guide. The day this issue is solved, they can join. And by the way, last year it was unimaginable to say that TPLF and Eritrea will hold discussions and talk about forming an alliance. Did you imagine in 2023 that it can happen? But it happened. They talked, they reached a deal. So it happens. Your allies change, your enemies change as well. It happens. CC is telling there was an earthquake in Addis Ababa. I pray for the safety of everyone in Addis Ababa. So many earthquakes in Addis Ababa, almost on weekly basis. We're seeing earthquakes so far. The magnitude of the earthquakes has been relatively low, around 5, but the frequency of these earthquakes is alarming. Surafel says, what deal? Surafel, I spoke about it on Friday. So do watch the live chat which I did on Friday. I spoke in detail about that issue. Mo Soma says, you look like Minister of Information of Puntland. Who is he? A says, I am naming my son Sajid. Honor for me. Fitsum says, IMF is a threat. IMF will blackmail Ethiopian government. This is what happens wherever people are in the clutches of IMF. But we cannot say that IMF can be a major threat to the Ethiopian government. Yes, those who are behind IMF, they can twist Pimabi's arms, but we cannot call it main threat to Pimabi's government. Abdi Karim joined to is a member to special welcome to Abdi Karim. Bishko says, do you think Abiy will wage war on Tigray? Not now. Not now. But Abiy, it's very difficult for Abiy to accept Tigray under TPLF TDF control and no PP in Tigray. Abiy is at a loss. As said earlier, Varaday's appointment is a very hard pill to swallow. 24 hours have passed, still Abiy is hesitant to sign the letter of appointment. What I had in dinner, this is what Moon is interested in. You might not be familiar with what I eat. I had pakoras, which I think called fritters. Uh, I had some mixed fruits, water, dates, uh, just one chapati with curry, chicken curry, and then I had my workout, 90-minute workout, and after that again some fruit salad, and now with you. Engesom photo says, how is PFDJ preparing for war? Well, PFDJ, what they have done so far in the last 30 years is preparation for wars. They're always prepared for wars. Their people can go to hell, they don't care about it. If all Eritreans leave the country, no problem with that. but you will always find them ready for war. They are ready for war. They're training everyone. Sa was still busy. Uh, Heratia buying some modern machines as well. Sa's work is very shrewd man when it comes to regional security situation. He makes good decisions, I think, but at the cost of just keeping his people in poverty. So Eritrea ready, I think. It can mobilize its people, its forces on a very short notice, I think. But if you want to learn about any offensive action by Eritrean government, no, no confirmation so far. Interesting question by Janatuth says, how can TPLF be a threat to the federal government without drone capabilities? Yeah, drones were the game changer. But back then, if you remember, TPLF was alone. Tigray was alone. There was no one supporting Tigray. Now, Tigray, people wishing fund TDF can find allies. And maybe it can find some drone support to air support as well, especially if Irati joins. So this time, alliance against Abiy could be really challenging if it happens. Someone is saying drones were not the game changer, Eritrea was the game changer. No, I think in the second round of fighting, there was no Eritrean military involved. And Tigray fighters managed to reach Shoa, North Shoa, roaming a special zone, but they had to retreat from there because drone strikes made it impossible for them to advance. And drones were used in the first round of fighting as well. UAE drones from Assam were used. Eritrea was not actively part of the second round of war, I think, though it supported ENDF, but not as much as it supported in the first and third rounds of fighting. Addis Unity is asking question about the role of federal government when the meeting with OLF and OLA was set up. Which meeting between OLF and OLA was set up? Are you talking about OLA government talks in Tanzania or recent meeting of OFC OLF? Which question, Bishko? Up says, I started watching you when I was in Macaulay University back when I was a student. Big respect for you and your kid. Your information helped us a lot. Thank you, Up. Yeah, Edis Unit is asking about OFCOLF meeting. Well, Ola says this meeting was set up by the government. Government people were part of the meeting, and OFC and OLF basically are talking to the government, which Ola is opposing. Yes, federal government is in talks with OFC and OLF, and OFC and OLF basically disappointed everyone. It was being hoped that they might try to form an alliance, party alliance against Prosperity Party for the next election. But they talked about divisive issues like border issues with Somali region, status of Addis Ababa, etc. So they are mature parties. Uh, but right now, when there is need of unity in opposition, they are working on divisive agenda. That is why people say that government is behind the meetings of OLF and OFC. But both are at the back foot now because parties from the Amhara region, Somali parties, OLA, all issued statements rejecting OFC, OLF statements. So both parties are silent now. Unimusica says TPLF is supposed to be banned from political activities. What happened there? Well, they were banned, and I think an ultimatum was given. 2 month, I think, period was announced. After that, NABE could take action. So let's see what federal government does. But they are conducting political activities, so they did not implement the ban. Who will implement it? No one there. Moni Moni wants to talk to some ladies. Anyone with a female name can be of help to Moni Moni. When you grow old, this is what happens, by the way. Dr. Alimo claiming Assad belongs to Ethiopia. Yes, I did a video on that, RRTN post. Dr. Alimo directly said that Assad is part of Ethiopia. So finally, cat is out of the bag. You will see, I think, Ethiopian government reclaim Assad in coming weeks and months. Which course will Ethiopian government adopt? Legal course of indirect intervention through opposition groups, direct intervention. That's open for discussion, but it seems they have made up their mind to make a claim to Assad. Bilaccio joined late today. How are you, Bilaccio? And this unity's question is very important, saying the ethnic division between the north and the south of Tigray, the main issue of TPLF. Well, you'll see that they'll just crush opposition. Since TDF has joined them, that is why they won't tolerate any opposition. If pro Getachew people don't change their mind and support TPLF, you'll see action on them. The way they kicked Getachew out of Tigray, they'll take action on Getachew supporters there as well. So they'll manage to create some sort of unity in Tigray. I think Abiy would like to have some sort of foothold in Tigray. Maybe Getachew's support base in southern Tigray could be used by PP, but let's see. Too early to say. Free Eratia joined too. Says hi Sajid. Good evening. How are you, Eratia? Black Widow said, "Do you think Abiy is losing grip of Ethiopia?" Well, imagine you saw what Abiy went through. He was being told to leave Ethiopia. It was being said that within days, TPLF and TPLF and Ola will encircle Addis Ababa. He managed to survive back then. Isn't he in a stronger position now? Definitely. He has managed to create divisions everywhere. Amhara not united against Abiy. Oromo not united against Abiy. Tigray not united, but its strategy failed here. That is why I'm saying that main threat to the government is from Tigray because his strategy did not work. But he is in command, I believe, in control, I believe. Government is not under any imminent threat. Sabbath said, "Do you think Amhara PP members will stage a coup?" No. You saw that when Johannes Buyalio's immunity was revoked last year, it was Amhara Regional Assembly which revoked Johannes Buyalio's immunity. No one said a word. Voting was held. Majority of PP supported the revocation of Johannes Buyalio's immunity. I don't see Amhara PP revolting against Abiy Ahmed's government. Is very interested in learning what Islamabad. People, some people love to mislead me, divert me. Rasado joined too. In this situation, how does it Afar role in generally, especially Red Sea Afar? Well, Afar, the role of Afars will be very crucial in near future. Eritrea, I see Afar region of Ethiopia and the Eritrea and Afar majority areas to be heavily weaponized and militarized. Afars should try to make use of this opportunity, I think. They should tell the two governments to work on building of infrastructure, building of schools, etc. Because now government will listen to them. Government now needs, both governments need affairs. Affairs should get money for development because their areas are very underdeveloped. A says, "Should I leave Ethiopia with my family?" Well, it's up to you to decide. It depends a lot on what your priorities are, what your sources of income are, what your plans are. I traveled 5 countries in the last 1 year or so, and I still believe that Pakistan is cheaper than all these countries. Perhaps it's difficult. It would be difficult for me to survive abroad with a family. Though I don't like the situation, the political situation here. Uh, that's why I don't follow Pakistani politics. I wish I could move from here, but perhaps it's not possible for me now. Then I have parents too. My father, my mother, both very old, over 80, around 80. I have to take care of them. I cannot leave them now when they need me. So it depends upon your situation. uh, you are the best judge, I think. Mike Smith is threatening me, saying Eritrean intelligence is close to Ethiopian intelligence. Be careful. I saw much more than that. If you remember, during war, people threatened to reach Pakistan. Some said they had already arrived here. Some threatened that they'll kidnap and kill my family, etc. So it's not new for me. The 47 minutes have passed. I think we should end the live chat. Now I'll be back next week. Next live chat will be on Friday. Topics are becoming bold now. Bold, direct, hard hitting. Hopefully, you'll be able to swallow these topics. Analysis is turning into direct analysis with no punches being pulled. Thanks for watching. I'll be back on Friday. Stay blessed. Till then, bye bye.